We are working on our marriage every single day.
The minute something goes viral, which I'm sure you know, the more love you get, the more hate you get as well. It starts to get really personal, and I was like, I can't, because it will stop me from doing content.
Social media makes everything harder. Do you know how many women slid into my husband's DMs?
How do you protect your marriage when you and Khalid are doing content together?
If I would not have my husband, I'd probably be in a wheelchair.
Hello and welcome back to Dream Girl. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Sheen, your host, and we are currently filming in the pen by Marina Pearl. My guest today is someone many of you may already know, Nora from Nora and Khalid. She's an entrepreneur, digital educator, a speaker focused on helping women build purpose-driven businesses. She's the founder of SheEO, an online business school that mentors women in creating and scaling service-based digital brands. And she's also the co-founder of Million Views, a platform that supports and develops the next generation of content creators. With a community of over 8.3 million followers across platforms, Nora shares practical insights on entrepreneurship, financial independence, and authentic leadership. She's also a TEDx speaker and the author of 3 published books, known for her clear, motivating approach to business and personal growth. If you've ever wondered how to navigate social media in a way that is both intentional and sustainable, and how to build a thriving business, this conversation is for you. Hi, Nora.
Hi!
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. This has been in the works for a while, and I'm very, very excited for us to do it. Tell me, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing amazing. Thank you. How are you?
Good. We were just discussing 2026 is going to be our year.
Exactly. Gemini mode.
Gemini mode.
I'm so excited.
And you know, Nora, I'll tell you what I love about you, and the reason I really want to speak to you is because you are, you know, what women need to see. You are doing everything at the same time. You know, you're being a mom, a creator, a businesswoman as well. And I just want to ask you one question, is that where you are today, is that something that you had seen coming?
Yes.
Tell us.
For sure. I don't believe in like, oh no, I've never seen. No, I do feel the go-getters and the envisioners of today, they always know where they are or where they will be. And like, I know people, this is always kind of like a struggle that I have at home because my mom's like, oh, you're never, it's enough. You know, you're so critical with yourself. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just because I know where I actually should be, you know? And I had this like super interesting conversation actually the other day where I was like, who invented gratitude? No, serious question.
Okay.
Who invented these gratitude journals? What is the purpose of being grateful? I really like want to go deep in that because like what I asked myself was when I tell somebody to be grateful, I kind of tell them to like slow down. Everything is amazing. Say alhamdulillah. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for me personally, gratefulness is ongoing, like it never stops.
Yeah.
But I'm not sitting there and journaling being grateful because what psychologically happens is that you're actually slowing down your engine. You feel comfortable. I've never seen somebody hustling or getting to their goals while they were comfortable. It's always the survival story. I was in a bad place or in a bad state of mind, and then I started to push, right? So I feel like this is really something that was like made or created to trick us into slowing down and staying where we are, rather than pushing forward and like having like gratefulness on your back the whole time, like, but not like focusing on it and sitting down and meditating for it.
You know, that's such a powerful reframe of how we think about things. You know what just came to mind when you said that is that a lot of times women especially, when you are brought into rooms where there are not that many women, you will be told just be grateful to be there.
Yes.
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Excuse me. You should be not grateful at all. Yeah. You should switch up the room and say, I want to invite 10 more people here. Why is this room looking the way that it is? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I feel like this gratitude journaling, whatever, was the wrong way. I would always like to journal my lacks. What did I feel missing today? if I'm going into a room full of men and I feel like none of these men is actually contributing to what we want to achieve today, which happens, unfortunately,
all the time,
too many times. Yeah, exactly. I would like to sit in the night and say, how can I change this room? Not, I'm so grateful that I had a seat in this table. Am I opening doors for more women with this attitude? Definitely not. But should we? Absolutely. If the 500 fortune companies of this world still have like a female rate of like 12% or something, then I'm sorry, like then there is no time to rest for us women.
Yeah, and I like how you're so unapologetic about the fact that I want this, I want more.
Yes.
You know, even yesterday we were having this conversation and someone said, oh, I'm very happy where I am. You know, I never expected my life to be this good, which is why I asked you this question. And in my head, I was thinking, I just want more.
Yeah. But don't you feel sometimes like it's giving you like a bad feeling that you are not grateful yet?
Yes.
Like, see, this is like, it feels like shame and guilt. These are always these like counterparts that block us in going to where we want to be. Shame and guilt. And so I always ask myself when I'm in this situation where I'm like, let's say I could reach out to this big celebrity and just ask them, or do I feel like maybe no, like I feel shameful actually, like what would they think, like who am I to do this question? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, girl, I'm sorry. Are you a slave of guilt and shame today? No. Remove that. We are not grateful for where we are because gratefulness is incorporated in a female body. We don't need to point that out because that might make you slower and shame you inside for not being happy for where you are today.
Yeah, and I think gratefulness becomes important when you have arrogance about your achievement.
Yes.
But women don't have that. Women are so self-critical. You're always thinking about what's next. You don't have arrogance.
I know.
So that's why you don't need to block yourself into that gratitude sphere.
I have this story that I always like to talk about. When I opened my first company was a print-on-demand company, okay? That's what broke girls do when they don't have budget to have inventory. They do print-on-demand stuff, you know?
How long ago was this?
That was, 2017.
Wow.
That was like 9 years ago now.
Wow.
Is it?
9 years,
Yes.
correct.
So what happened was I wanted to hire a assistant. And I was like, oh, I don't care if it's a man or a woman because I was doing Islamic posters, by the way. Yeah. So crazy because, you know, back in the days, the Islamic art was so like gold and silver black, very dramatic.
Yes.
And I felt having like a fully white aesthetic, clean aesthetic home, this doesn't fit in my aesthetic, but I still want to be reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wherever I look. So what happened was that I taught myself through YouTube videos in design and started to design my own posters, put them online, and then connected it to the print-on-demand guy.
Okay.
So like people buy, money is in. I don't have inventory. I don't have money. I don't have any loans or something. Money comes in. The guy would print it, send it to the person, to the customer, and by the end of the month, he sends me an invoice of the products that he sent out and printed. So it was perfect for me.
Business.
So I was like, okay, I need 10 points from the person that I want to hire. I got 2 guys and a couple of women that wanted to have this position. So the first woman that came in was immediately talking of like, she had like, by the way, 9 out of the 10 characteristics that I was looking into and competences. So when she was telling me about what she does, she kept on going to the 10th point that she's lacking. It's so interesting, right? But she was telling me the whole time in this 30 minutes talk that we have, by the way, I'm sorry I don't have that quality you're looking into, but I'm willing to learn. I'm such a good learner, fast learner, blah, blah, blah. Now, the next guy that entered right after her only had 1 out of the 10 qualities. I'm not even kidding. And he was talking for 30 minutes straight how amazing he was in Excel, which was like what I was looking for. That one thing. And I was so disappointed in that day. I remember telling my partner back in the days, like, how is that possible? How is that? Is that female energy? That we don't have the confidence to focus on what we are capable of doing, but focus on the lacks? Because we are compassionate. We have empathy. So we are good leaders when it comes to that. But that's the wrong image that I felt was going on about like female energy and masculine energy, because this is what it is today. You see CEOs on stage talking about stuff when you go deeper with them, they probably don't even know about, you know, while you have women that focus so much on the tool itself to give key takeaways. You were in the 1 billion followers summit, for instance, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you already, I know without even watching all of the keynotes, that the men were not even giving half of the key takeaways that the women did.
Oh, yeah.
And that's normal, that's natural, because when a woman is on stage, she wants to educate.
Yes.
She wants to make you leave with a hand full of new lessons learned.
Value
While
driven.
a man would probably have half of the intention to impress.
Of course. Yeah. But you know that this is so great that you experienced that, because there's a research that was done on this.
Okay.
And the results was that women will only apply for jobs that they qualify for 80% of the requirements.
Oh.
But men will apply even if they only take 10% of the box, which is exactly what you experienced. And it's crazy to think that this is, and 80% you'll still think, I'm not good enough. Yeah, that heavy sigh.
When I see, like, I used to see, before I founded CEO, which is like, let's say, my passion project, probably until the end of...
Passion project, please.
Yeah,
it's an
until
empire.
the day my dies. Yeah, I know, this is my empire, but like, you know, I kind of felt like, what do you mean not everyone wants to have their own business? What do you mean not every woman wants to be self-employed, you know? And I experienced that firsthand in my friends, that they were like, but Nora, I don't want to become an entrepreneur, right? And that, like, it took me some time to understand, yeah, that's true. Some people just don't want to be, and that's so fine, you know? But what I don't understand is, if you are in your interview negotiating your salary for the year, why are you shutting up? Why do you raise it by 5 to 10%? Excuse me, where are we? You know, and then we talk about transparency and equality for men and women in salaries or something. But I'm sorry, if the woman didn't ask for it, then why should she get that? Because we need to change the way we see these things. We need to work more on our mindsets, because I think we don't realize that if you would have asked, you probably would have gotten the same thing, if not even more, because that's what I experienced in the past, because I asked. I asked and I demanded, even though it was quite like, it was too much that I asked for.
That's
to be
okay.
honest, I always ask for too much.
Aim for the moon, right?
Yeah, exactly. Aim for the moon and you're going to get the stars, you know? I love that.
I know. And again, this is crazy. We've had such similar experiences, but you know, I used to be in the corporate world. I was a consultant.
Yeah, me too.
And see? And I remember this, my friend there who was way higher than me, she was really annoyed because she realized that someone on her same level as her, who's a man, is earning more than her.
Oh.
And she went to ask the partner, why? Why is that? And he said,
Wrong question.
because he asked for it and you didn't.
Oh.
Right. And then
Yeah.
she was like, wow, he did. He asked for it and he got it. Why does that mean automatically you'll get it? You didn't ask for it, so it means you're happy with what you have. And then that was my first time thinking, men have audacity.
And I love that.
Exactly.
Let
and
them
that's
have
one thing
it.
we can learn.
But can we learn it, please?
Exactly.
I want that so
Exactly.
much. I always like talk about how you need to empower yourself. And I hate the word empowerment, because we don't need to be empowered. We have the power within us. But in the same time, can you please do something for your mindset shift? Yeah, there are so many amazing examples out there that teach us so much about how it could be done. And until today, women are still hesitant to go for what they want or what they deserve, you know? And that's just, I mean, this is the reason you do what you do and why I do what I do, you know, because we want everyone to change.
Right. And I think we've made such good progress when it comes to women equality. Not to say that it's solved, but I do think that now the main focus should be to get women to get out of their own heads.
Yes, you know, what I want to see, I don't want to be equal, because what do you mean? Women have more abilities in certain areas. Like, I'm not talking about equality. I'm talking about, like, push further.
Go far.
Go far.
Yeah.
Like, why do we need to, since when is the barrier a man puts out there our boundary, like, or our ceiling? No. Who determined the ceiling? But if no woman goes there and like actually grabs of what she thinks she can do. And this is the thing, by the way, one thing I learned the hard way is if you can achieve your dreams, you didn't dream by yourself, you didn't dream big enough. So you need to ask people around you. You need to get help, no matter how good you think your mindset is. But only a team can achieve what a single person could never. And that's like, I feel this is our secret weapon, because one thing I experienced in the past, what women are good in, is team leading. Team leading.
But see, firstly, I just want to mention this to you. You know, the first time I came across you was because I was looking for the name for my podcast.
Oh no, don't tell me I took it away.
I wanted to call it She. And I was like, who is this?
I'm sorry.
I was like, why? And then I came across your content, and then I started following you back then. But I looked into what you do with She You, and it's such a beautiful initiative. And I love that you are working with so many women to empower them. We don't like the word, but to support.
Yes.
And what have been the things that you've seen after working with so many? How many women have you worked with now?
Oh, thousands.
Thousands,
and
right?
not yet where I want to be, but I think through She it was like 8,000 now. Yeah, over the years.
Clock it, girl.
Thank
that's
you.
a lot.
But it's not yet where I want to be. So
I know, exactly. That's good. We have the
We're
fire.
not grateful.
Yeah, we have the
push
fire.
further.
Yes. But what's one thing you keep seeing in women that is blocking them from achieving their potential? You know, we spend so much time working on our careers, our goals, and our ambitions, but very few of us actually stop and ask, how is my body doing? One thing I have learned from speaking to so many high performers is that success only works when your health can keep up with your life. That is why I started using my Oura Ring. Oura Ring is a smart ring designed for sleep, health, and daily balance. Together with the Oura app, it gives you real insight into what is happening inside your body, from your sleep quality and recovery to your stress levels, heart rate, and overall readiness for the day. What I love is that it meets you exactly where you are. It does not judge you, it just gives you information so you can understand yourself better and make small changes that actually last. It is very lightweight, comfortable, and it is made from titanium, and you can wear it all day and all night with no screens, no distractions, just very accurate science-backed insights from one of the strongest signals in your body, your finger. And when you start listening to your body, you start living differently. Learn more at auraring.com, and Oura Ring is also available at Virgin.
I feel like, I don't want to blame anything or anyone.
No.
But I feel there are certain trends always happening in the world that women take to heart. Like manifestation. How do you call it? Mantras or whatever, I do feel that like one of the biggest issues that I came across when it comes to women is that they envision their future a little bit too light on the mindset wise. What I want to say is, they would think like, I'm manifesting this and that. And then I'm like, okay, good. So what is manifestation for you? Like, what do you do exactly? And then they're like, I envision, I'm like having this and that, you know? And I'm like, how about you envision the start? Envision the start of where you want to be. How would the start look like? And then we're getting closer to the plan. And then you would actually start. Because the biggest problem that all the women have out there is the start. You know, when we want to build a brand, every woman's biggest struggle in the beginning that holds them back for so long is, how is my logo going to look like? What colors are my colors? What's my name? Girl, a brand is not the name.
No one cares.
Neither the colors. It's what you make out of this in the next 10 years. Then it will become a brand. Until then, change it as many times as you want. But is this hindering you from getting it started? Then don't. Then go to Canva and just let Canva produce anything for you so you can get started, because this is a mind block. I don't like when the hardest problem was that I'm giving you a plan, you have a to-do plan, and then you take too much time on each to-do because you think it has to be perfect. And this perfectionism is what's holding women back to get going. Because it's not about being perfect. It's about starting and being consistent. And this is the shift, the energy shift that I want to see, because manifestation is not about envisioning your future. It's about envisioning how you're going to start to claim your future. And the more clear and specific you are in that, the more you know what your first to do is. And this is like one of the hardest lessons, I think, in CEO. And also, if I can say that at this point, I am like guilty of that myself, seeing potential in people and then they don't reach it. It's heartbreaking.
It is.
I met so many, CEO is an international company. Like I work with literally women all over the world. I don't know how, but like they find their way to me from like the weirdest corners in life. And it's so nice because everyone has a different cultural background and a different way of thinking. So you get trained yourself about like working with the different cultures, right? Which is like hardcore.
Of course.
Because like everyone has a different struggle.
Yeah,
right?
different
In
needs,
life.
different struggles. Yeah.
Yes. So when you see that somebody has everything it takes to be where they want to be, but they are their biggest enemy, oh, that's heartbreaking. This is literally the reason why I paused it when I gave birth to my baby girl, because I used to coach literally 8 to 12 hours a day. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Even though I did group trainings and whatever, but like, because, as a woman, again, you give too much. I used to call them privately, hey, let's have a call, and then sit with them in a call for 3 hours. Even though it's not a one-on-one, it's not paid for, but because you want to make an impact in this world, you always go the extra mile. And then my business partners always look at me and say, I'm sorry, but you're doing it wrong, because in the end, it's a business. And if our biggest source of making this business running is you,
is your time.
My time is like cut because I give it away like free candy, then we have an issue. And I know that. I really know that. That's why I did like a million views to like slow it down, be a bit more intentional with my time, because I want to have a bigger impact. And like, so it has to sort out faster who can go their dream life or who can't.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, I want to touch on a few things you said. First of all, perfectionism. Again, perfectionism, actually, we were discussing this with this author the other day. It comes from a lack of self-worth.
Yes.
Because you seek validation from being perfect, because you know people will love you more if everything is perfect.
Yep.
And men just go by 80-20. If it's okay, 80% of it, it's fine, let's just go with it. And I think that's one thing we need to put more into practice to avoid wasting time. My logo, my friend who's a dentist designed it for me.
I love that.
In 30 minutes on Canva.
Amazing.
And this has been running for like 5 years.
Yes, see, and now it's becoming a brand.
Yeah, now it's a brand. Now we're actually doing a full rebrand to make it look better. But there was no need for it until now.
Exactly.
It really shouldn't stop you. And again, one thing we keep seeing is, even with the content creation world, right?
Yeah.
People just don't start. They just think, oh, I need to know exactly who I'm talking to. What am I doing? But
I
no
need
one
the
cares.
perfect camera, the perfect light, the perfect editing tools.
None of that.
None
but
of it.
Also going into you giving so much of your time to your girls who are in the program, it's because we also become emotionally invested, right?
Absolutely. It's like, I have a personal motto, I said that I want to help 1 million women to grow their own business and become financially independent until I die, So I need to be a bit faster, from 9K.
We need to move through the numbers.
We need to move through the numbers. But one thing that I experienced is there was a lot of work I needed to do by myself, like on myself, because when a woman would not reach her goal, automatically she would blame it on, let's say, me or the program.
On
or
a
something.
coach
It happens,
program,
And then when I seek conversation and I say, listen, but you didn't do anything of that. Like you didn't do this
Where's
and
the
this
action?
work. Where is this analysis? Where did you call these people you wanted to hire and whatever? Oh yeah, no. You still feel the mark of like, am I doing something wrong as a business person?
Of course.
And I feel this is such a female thing because men would sleep properly at night.
they don't care.
They don't care. Like, by the way, the majority of my coachees were ex-coachees from male coaches, from very known male coaches
Right.
that entered the program saying, I paid X10. They pay because they have, mashallah, very expensive programs,
Ooh la la.
and you are willing to pay a higher amount for a man rather than a woman. it always happens in business because a woman, because of the vulnerability, you're starting to negotiate and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
we're over this anyways.
Yeah.
But like, what was interesting is they didn't get even like 1/20th part of what they were promised in other people's program. Now they get everything they needed from me, plus my personal time. And you would still think as the business owner, it's not enough.
Yeah.
And that's the constant battle a woman faces when she's in business and when she's building an empire, because you're always vulnerable. You always feel like, when somebody gives you like a specific comment of something, are they right? Are they? And that's like, first I saw that as something negative because I thought like, oh my God, I'm weak. I need to, But it's when you have too much time on hand and when you don't know what the word confidence actually means, then these things happen. Because like people used to say confidence is when you know your self-worth or value or whatever. But isn't that bullshit? Like, can I just ask you, what would you say confidence is?
I think honestly for me, so I'm a little bit biased because we just had this conversation with someone who wrote a book. And I think confidence at the end of the day for me is knowing that whatever happens, I can bounce off. If it goes well, I can handle it. If it goes bad, I can handle it.
But is it the knowing, or is it because you bounced it off in the past?
It's based on action. Yeah, it's based on data.
So it's action.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's
but
based on
thank
data.
you.
100%.
Confidence.
100%.
I'm sorry, but I want to say that loud.
Yeah.
When I was like my last months of pregnancy, plus when I gave birth, I felt the least confident, and I felt like, why? I made the biggest achievement ever. I
just
gave
pushed a
birth.
human out.
Yeah, exactly. But when I looked deeper, I understood it's because I'm not pushing anymore anything else. Because I started to act less. I was only a mother in that moment.
Yeah.
And for me, that wasn't enough because I felt like what I wanted to achieve in my life needed to be more than that. So for me, I felt like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? How did I get confident again? Was through actions.
Yeah.
Small things like just cooking.
Yeah.
I need to get things done.
Action.
Actions make you confident. Not knowing, not self-worth, not value, anything. Actions is the only thing that will make you a confident person because you know you can push. You can bounce back from experience because you pushed in the past.
Yeah. Because, our brain literally just works based on past experiences.
Exactly.
So if you've been on stage before, the first time you're scared, second time, your brain is like, we did it last time.
Exactly.
We got this, right? And I think you're so right. And I think people wait to feel confident before doing anything.
That's the thing. And that's because all these gurus tell us that it's a feeling. But confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is action. You need to earn your confidence is the result of your actions.
That's so well said. Okay, question for you now. So obviously you've had such an interesting journey. We've seen you grow online. I feel like we've seen you achieve so many things. Was there a version of Nora before who was not confident?
Of course. I'm in between. I would always say there are phases that I'm not confident. Like I say, birth was just like a year ago, right? Where I didn't feel confident. I was like, oh my God, but why? I thought I'm such a confident person. And when I talked to my life coach about it, we went so deep that I was like, oh my God, girl, yeah, I know.
I got this.
If everyone tells you confidence is a feeling and then suddenly you don't feel it, you feel like something was taken away from you that you can't earn anymore. But once somebody tells you can work on getting it, that's the result. That's like the status you're going to get in the end of it. Then, hello, everyone can be confident.
Yeah.
And then we switch up the game. And this is what I mean, I feel that there are so many, how do you call it? Like floskels, like people that just scream too loud that they found a new way of thinking. And I feel this is all to kind of slow down or put women, especially because we are very receptive for everything, at ease for their own state. And I feel that's so sad because this is the wrong message. Because I don't want to be I don't want to be sugarcoated in my situation. I want the truth so I can start working. But if everyone tells me it's a feeling, you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself you are rich, you are beautiful, and nothing happens, well, guess why? Because that never happened. That never worked.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Manifestations, and it doesn't work like this. And the sooner everyone realizes, the sooner their reality changes. It's like, I literally, small things, that whenever I tell this to my friends, for instance, they're like, oh my God, wow, Nora, you changed me so much. one negative thought, 3 to 5 times more powerful than a positive thought. Now, everyone that knows me, they know I'm a positive thinker throughout. Well, the first thing I did wasn't thinking more positively. I'd never looked in the mirror and looked at myself and said, I'm rich, I'm positive, I'm powerful, I am amazing. No, I never did that. What I did was whenever I had a negative thought about myself, I silenced it. Because if you want to be positive, the first thing you do is lowering the negative thoughts. Because imagine if I have one negative thought, I need to have like 3 to 5 affirmations I put after it to feel balanced, emotionally balanced. This could never happen. So how about we lower the negative side and have a mindset shift? Because our brain was never designed to feel happy. Our brain is trained on survival. We have a survival instinct. Everything is looked at as a threat. If we see somebody that does something that we want to do, it's a threat. Because in our mind, it's like comparison. That's what you wanted to do. Oh, I'm demotivated because they are already doing it. Guess what, girl? The cake gets bigger the more people are in it.
Yes.
But when we talk about this openly and we actually share these insights of like, you know how your brain actually works, then there is a logical reason for why you feel low on certain days, why you feel good on other days, why you feel low when you're on social media scrolling and seeing all these perfect lives. Right? And does that not make you actually feel good? Knowing that, hey, it's your brain that actually works against you and you just need to train it, at least 40 days for it to become a habit, right? In Islam at least, until we really go the right way. So I've never seen somebody trying for 40 days before they came to me and said it doesn't work. Usually it happens after 1 week or 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm telling them, try harder, try longer, and then see what happens. Because if I said, like, I worked on my mindset for 6 years with somebody else, I'm not talking about the self-help books or whatever.
Yeah.
What are you telling me after you tried for a week? But like, we need to be louder about the reality rather than affirmations and manifestations and gratitude and all of that, which I think is kind of a trend.
Yes.
It's not the reality of how things work.
It looks good on social media at the moment, the whole vision boarding. Yes. And I remember I saw this girl said, don't just put like a fit body on your vision board thinking, oh, I want to look hot this year. No, you need to sign up to a gym membership. You need to start looking at what you eat every day. Yes. These are the actions that will lead to that hot body. Just looking at that picture is not going to make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to be fit this year. Okay, where's the action? And again, it's all about putting things into action, which you've explained so beautifully. Yeah. But now I want to shift gears a little bit. Sure. And obviously, you are very well known as the one half of Nora and Khalid. Yeah. And first of all, love your content.
Thank you.
The wedding content, I was hooked. For me, it felt like it was, the Prince wedding in the UK I was watching.
Really, but it wasn't expensive, though. I just got to say that. For everyone that was like, oh, that was so expensive. No. We didn't. We just wanted to make it fun.
Exactly. It was done well. But tell me, how long has it been now since you do content?
Since I do I started 2013. I'm a very old person.
13 years.
Yes.
Wow, mashallah, that's a long time. Yeah. So has your relationship with social media changed across the time?
Of course, it's always evolving. And even now, like literally yesterday, we had a strategy meeting for Nora and Khalid, me and my husband.
Okay.
So it's evolving all the time. Yeah. It changes a lot. Because also the environment changed, the trends change, the algorithms change, You always need to be out there and learning.
Yeah. Do you still love it?
Oh, I adore it.
Yeah.
It's the best. You know what I adore? I'm like, okay, I love making people happy on Nora and Khalid and entertaining them.
Yeah.
But you know what I love? When I get a feedback, this helped me a lot on Nori, on my personal account. That is what gets me going every day.
Oh, that's what fuels you, really. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Nora and Khalid is purely, it helps us.
Joy.
Exactly. Brings a bit of joy every day in our busy days. But another thing I wanted to ask you is because nowadays there's so much we keep hearing about online couples really struggling. And I saw your story about Kirsty as well, which
I don't want to cry.
I felt so happy that you did it because I feel like so many people were being so harsh about that whole situation towards her. And everyone was like, yeah, but why did he want to separate in December? I was like, is that the point?
Did you see, I'm sorry, we don't want to gossip,
no,
but did you see, there just was released a video of him making out like an animal in a cafe in public. And I'm like, does the mother of your children
not deserve better?
Deserve that?
Do your
I'm
kids
sorry,
deserve
she
that?
is still in the public eye. You are too. Do you want the other friends of your kid telling them, "Oh, we saw your dad online doing whatever"? I'm sorry, but that's so that's so low.
It's so low.
I just feel like this is, by the way, one part why we had this conversation
Yeah.
yesterday with Khalid. Like me and Khalid. Me, I'm a Gemini. I have we.
It is we.
It's we. You never know what personality you're gonna get.
Which one is it today?
Exactly. Today it's your wife talking to you. But because suddenly, throughout what happened with Christy Sarah and like God bless her, inshallah, she's like
She will be fine.
She will be fine.
Yeah.
Of course, this girl rocks.
I can't wait to see who she pulls.
That's gonna be so fun. But like, what I we started to get so many messages from people from the US, UK, Europe saying they are our last hope. And I'm like, oh my God, like that kind of put me on a
It's a lot of
spot.
pressure.
Because I'm like, I'm sorry, but people in your real environment never separated. So because people were saying that like, I know social media couples are never real and love is never real and I don't believe in love if they don't have it anymore. And I'm like, oh, if this is the perception we have about social media couples.
People we don't
then,
know.
Yeah, then let me teach you guys. We fight.
Yeah.
We fight. We argue.
You
we have our
disagree.
struggles.
Yeah.
We are working on our marriage every single day. Probably harder than everyone I know because I'm German and I love communication so much. So I go the extra mile.
Yeah.
But do you see that is your, like, is this your comparison? No, love. No, love. Social media makes everything harder, makes everything more complex. You know how many women slid into my husband's DMs?
I'm sure.
Of course. Or are talking to him and, you know, like, I don't want to say, like, unfortunately, it's so funny, but if you have a trained husband, you don't know, you have both genders as your enemy. It's not just women. It's so many men that approach him. It's so weird, you know? He's like so terrified. He texts me. He's like, oh my God, why do I attract these guys, you know? And like, I'm sorry. Like, but
He
it's
appeals to
weird.
everyone.
It's so weird.
Oh my God.
But you need to put so much extra work because social media is it's a public platform.
Yeah.
And even though, you know, it's just 2 minutes of our 24-hour day, people still think they know you.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes I wish you would know me more. Sometimes I literally, we always have this discussion. I would like to be a bit more personal for the people to like know that we also fight. Like there was this post that I brought up last year when I was in Saudi because I had a deep talk about like, oh, you guys seem so perfect. And do you even fight? And I have a problem with my family-in-law and whatever. And I'm like, girl, I have all of it as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't see it. I'm like, oh, that's bad. Actually, you're right. That like, I want to be real. I want to be authentic. And I need to say that louder. I have all the issues that you have. Exactly the same. If not even worse, because social media sometimes makes things tougher.
Right.
And a baby also.
Of course.
You know?
And the business.
And
everything.
the businesses, exactly, you know. There is always inequality in some point, you know. Please, don't look at your life and feel miserable because we're living the same. Yeah.
But you see, at the same time, I feel like it is not your responsibility, though, because
It's not,
you don't
yeah.
expect your doctors to tell you that they have a normal life
I
at
know.
home. But I do
But isn't
get
social
it,
media
right?
different?
Because
Yeah.
they build this parasocial relationship with you,
Yes.
right? So then they assume that that highlight reel you're showing them of your day is how the rest of your day is.
Yes.
But it is a big burden as well. So how do you protect your sanity, your privacy, but also stay authentic and, you know, very real with your audience?
So I'm honest, first of all, but I always know that Nora and Khalid is a personality. It's an alter ego.
Yeah.
So I pretty much detached it from my own personality, even though what you see is literally what I am.
Yeah.
Like, I am how you see me in the videos. But still, I don't want to put me in there. Like, I don't see that I am this person. Because if there are negative comments, they don't affect me. Because it can really ruin your day,
yeah.
especially when all you know, there are so many things that happened in the world, wars and whatever. There's so much pressure on social media and people that make their money through content that like it really kind of could have affected us in a very bad way.
Yeah.
I know a lot of couples that suffered a lot for
Yeah.
that like whose only income is social media and that were really on the verge of divorce because of public
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much the only way how I handle it. I like my husband, for instance, is the opposite. He still gets like very angry when he gets these kind of comments. But maybe it's because I'm in this business since 13 years. I've seen a lot. I've stayed long. I've people see me like doing literally everything, that I don't take it personal. And he's fresh. He's like 2-3 years in the business, and he's already like on the top, mashallah, you know? So I think it takes a lot of mindset work to detach yourself from the character that you show and really understand that this is a purpose that you're following, and it's one of the purposes that you do, and it's untouchable, because people always comment when they, like, it's like when you had a bad food in a restaurant, you are more keen
to leave feedback
or a Google review than if it was fantastic. And this is life. Sometimes it's just hard that what if you are the restaurant, you let it get too close to you. Because I don't. I have to say, I really don't get into this personality.
Yeah, that's so good. Me too. You know what I've stopped doing? I just don't even read the comments.
Yes, but girl, I feel you. But I noticed that engagement goes down.
Yeah.
So you know what I do? Okay, I'm kind of like revealing myself
Just
here.
tell us.
Okay, I have 2 lovely sisters. They are 16 years old. They are twins.
The twins.
And I want to teach them about like responsibility and everything. So I give them a salary to be my community manager.
Okay.
So they answer the comments.
Okay.
And they are looking for content ideas. They also answer some direct messages. Yeah. So that's what I do.
So you don't have to do it. You don't have to read it.
Yeah, because sometimes that is toxic.
It is. And that's one thing I've realized is that, so I do the same thing. I also have someone in the team who does this, right? The social media management. And I think if I still did it, it would really get to me.
Yes.
Especially when I talk about Islam and stuff. And
oh, yes, obviously. Oh, girl. I love what you do, by the way.
Thank you.
Everything is like you are on the forefront of knowledge in the modern world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
No, but you see, the minute something goes viral, which I'm sure you know, the more love you get, the more hate you get as well.
Of course.
And then it starts to get really personal. And I was like, I can't, because it will stop me from doing content if I keep reading these comments.
Even though you know exactly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that because he wanted you to share it, right?
Exactly.
That's the thing. This is like, when Cardi B said like bad press is good press. Yeah, that's it.
It is.
That's pretty much it. Everything is press is good. And you just need to work a lot on yourself for it to get to you, You shouldn't detach yourself fully from, because you still need to see what the public opinion is about you. So I always like to keep in touch, They always give me like a report where they tell me, oh, they love this especially, and one person was talking about that and that they love this. So I always keep in touch, and I know what's happening in the comments and in the direct messages. But the clear instruction is, don't ever tell me about negative comments, because I don't want to ruin.
Exactly. You don't want that to impact what you want to do. Because unfortunately, we're human at the end of the day. You will attach a little bit of emotions to it. But so that's the content creation world. I love it. So I'm very new to Dubai, right? When did you move here?
How new are you?
4 years.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Almost the same 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. We're the same. This whole world here is evolving so quickly with social media. And I love it. I think we got here at the right time.
Absolutely.
And it's so nice because you meet such incredible people as well online.
Right? Doesn't it feel like this is the second center of the world? Like before it was always like America, New York. Now everyone comes here. Suddenly you have access to the biggest of the world.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know. It's so good. But, that's one thing about you. So you're doing content creation. You do it with Khalid as well.
Yes.
But I do content with the team. I do content with my business partner for this space. And we always fight when we're doing it.
Oh,
we clash so much, but both of us do content. And how do you protect your marriage when you and Khalid are doing content together? Because at the end of the day, it's work, right?
Yes.
So how do you manage that?
You need to manage it properly with plans and scorecards. I'm German, okay? I know, both my parents are Moroccan, so I'm actually Moroccan, but I'm born and raised in Germany.
Yeah.
So what I know in terms of structure and strategy is very much German. I grew up in a German corporate world, so we do scorecards for everything. We say, what is the goal for the year? Who has what responsibility? And this is how I work with my husband.
Yeah.
It's a very clear structure. And I have to say it diluted a bit when I was pregnant and when I gave birth, because the roles kind of like mixed, because suddenly suddenly I wouldn't feel well because I was breastfeeding for a year. Then it took a lot of energy. So, sorry,
Lord.
you said it. You're right. So like suddenly things like, let's say ideation, and before I used to bring the ideas, I would tell him what to do. We would record it and I edit it and I post it. Then I said, it's too much.
That's everything.
Yes, but we're Geminis. We can do so much, If you only knew what else I would do. Like yeah. So, but then like suddenly I needed help. And I know it's hard to receive because like that's always a problem, especially for great business women. But I started to actively ask for help. And then I would see like that, like some Nora and Khalid content is not Nora and Khalid anymore because it's different. A guy's humor is different than a woman's humor,
different. Yeah.
So people would not notice. I'm sure nobody noticed, but I noticed.
Yeah.
So then we needed to just go back to our plan. And it's really like I have the responsibility for the ideation and the overall image of how it works. We would record together. He edits half, I edit half. He uploads half, I upload half. And so it's really about like a business relationship that we have there. And we detach this business relationship completely from our personal life. It kind of forced us to be a bit more strict and structured in our personal life because we do like things like snitching every Sunday, which is like we basically, how sometimes things happen between husband and wife and you're like, I want to talk about that. Okay, so we do this on every Sunday.
Nice. A little weekly review basically.
Yeah, weekly review, what did you like, what did you not like? And we call it snitching because we would pretend that it's a voice because sometimes you have this bad
little naggy voice
inside of you, but it's not really you because if I would be in another state, but that's why we call it snitching. And then we have family days every Thursday where Khalid needs to take over the planning and plan the whole day for us as a family only. And that's pretty much it. How we like structure it to be like really focused with and intentional with our time together and with our time as business owners.
Yeah, and clear communication, clearly. We live in a world where everyone is pushing harder. More work, more pressure, more expectations. But the truth is, your body is not a machine. And if you want to build a life that lasts, you need to understand how your body is actually coping with the life you're living. That is one of the reasons I love Oura Ring. Oura Ring is a smart ring that helps you track your sleep, recovery, stress, heart health, and daily readiness all from your finger. Together with the Oura app, it gives you personalized insights so you know when to push, when to slow down, and when to take care of yourself. It is designed to be worn 24/7 with a sleek titanium build that feels very comfortable whether you are working, traveling, training, or sleeping. There are no screens, no vibrations, no distractions, just quiet, accurate information to help you stay in tune with your body. And sometimes that awareness alone can change everything, because living a strong life is not just about doing more, it is about taking care of the one body you have. Learn more at auraring.com, and Oura Ring is also available at Virgin. Thanks, Aura.
Of course.
Right, that's what helps.
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, there's so much going on. Like Nora and Khalid, million views, CEO, and all the other plans. And usually I am more like, let's say, involved in communication and stuff. So you always need to see how you balance a relationship because also masculine and feminine energy should not get out of touch, you know, in a relationship. And when the woman does more than a husband, sometimes this happens. So I always want to make sure that he is having a purpose, is getting what he wants, and like I can follow my dreams. Because like one thing, I know this is so uncommon. I don't know, maybe some people will like fight me for this, but I do think feminine energy is the leader in a relationship and masculine energy is the execution. So I don't think that men are giving directions in a relation. Every relationship I know, every marriage I know, the wife actually decides what to do with the money 100%. And the husband does it. Literally, the wife is the person, right? The wife is the one to like buy, what do we need? The husband needs to go get the groceries or something. So I feel once we are real about leadership is owned by women in relationships, but the execution and the operational part is clearly on the masculine side, then every marriage is going to be happy. Yeah, because some men think it's different, but it's actually not. If they are honest, they would still ask their wives to have the final word, and it's decision-making.
And it's true because the woman is also the one that has most visibility on what's going on in the household with the kids, everything.
Exactly.
So it only makes sense.
Exactly.
But now, one thing we touched upon at the beginning is dating in Dubai.
Oh, yes.
So you've managed to find a good one.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we love him. But what advice do you have to young women? Because including me, all of us are struggling.
I know.
It's the ghetto out there.
Do you want me to repeat what I said? Because I don't know, but I think maybe more people need to hear that.
That was good advice.
Thank you. So basically, since I was a businesswoman since 2017, and I was looking for somebody else, I always kind of walked around it like I need somebody that is bigger than me because I don't want a man that will feel undermined because I have an authority or I have a business. So I was kind of always looking for that one person that is doing what I do, but better, bigger,
right.
Scaling more up, like the masculine man kind of thing, right? That was so wrong. After my experience, I figured, oh shit, that's actually the complete opposite of what I actually need. Because when I found these men, I figured that they have zero emotional intelligence from what you need. Vulnerability is zero. And that you cannot be a priority in their life because clearly it's career. And that they are not invested in communication with you as much because they don't need it. They're like more surface level, let's say it this way, obviously. Yeah. So I talked to my life coach. I love him. Isa, shout out at this point. He told me, like, you're doing it wrong all this time. When you want to have a partner for life and in marriage, you need to find somebody whose biggest competence and achievements are your biggest lacks. My biggest lacks were always and will forever be my health and wellness. I'm really, I never took nutrition seriously. Sometimes I ate, sometimes I didn't eat for a whole day because I was busy the whole day. I wouldn't work out anymore. I wouldn't literally care about my health and well-being. So I looked on social media. And thank God, on Explore, I immediately saw this Adonis of a guy. I liked the picture. And two, okay, babe, I already hear you saying, you like two. No, I like two pictures. And then he slid into my DM 0.5 seconds afterwards. And from the first conversation we had, I knew this is a person I want to marry because his questions were, did you eat today? Do you want to come to the gym? You look weak, and I have a hyperactive thyroid, a Graves' disease, in fact. So I faint many times. And then he would be there, and he's like strong. So he would pick me up, and he would carry me everywhere. And I have like a very bad health history, and he's been through it all. He's kind of like my life doctor. And this is something, when people are like, I stopped finding my partner attractive or loving him or something. Well, it's because you didn't have someone that you depend on. And I can openly say I depend on my husband for my health. I know that I don't value it as much as I should, and it's bad to openly say it. Like, I wish I was better than that, but in the business world, unfortunately, it's too easy not to do this. That if I would not have my husband, I'd probably be in a wheelchair. And I love him for being that, and I will always, because it will never change. I will always need him to take care of me health-wise as much as he will always need me to take care of him brain-wise because he doesn't care about business, numbers, long-term vision. Like, if it's for him, we would probably still be in a rental, but because I'm this business person, and he openly admits, I don't think business because he's not interested in it. It's perfect because we literally, like yin and yang, we complement each other in our lacks. And I do think that that's the biggest advice any woman needs in Dubai because there are so many fake people as well and like braggers and people that think, they are, but they are not. Don't stop looking for what you usually be attracted by or for bigger and safety or security in money. Look for what your biggest lacks are and look for a person who has that as his biggest achievements. And then be happy.
You know, you said something so powerful because I think people assume that women like you who are very successful and powerful and ambitious do not depend on their partner.
No.
Exactly. It's good to depend on each other. It's a partnership. You're doing life together.
Of course. It would be so sad. Like, I'm a relationship person anyways.
Yeah.
And I do feel anyone that says, I don't need him. By the way, this is the most toxic development of 2025. These successful women that, I don't know, do crypto trading or whatever, that teach you, you don't need a man to be happy. Honey, stop that.
Having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
Excuse me, I know you are crying yourself to sleep every night because you didn't find the right person.
Yes.
And you want to teach the people out there, which is so toxic, you want to teach these young girls that they need to live on their own and need to be happy on their own. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. Dependency and family values are the only ones that are the most long-term vision you can have in life. A business can fall, COVID can come, anything, economies can break down. But a family is your ticket to long-term happiness if you do it right. I'm not saying you have to be in a relationship. No, that's wrong. But you need to allow yourself to understand that a woman and a man were made to be with each other. And that's a flex.
Exactly.
It's the biggest flex ever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't mind these women that are like, oh, I'm happy and I don't find the right guy. That's okay.
Exactly.
But can you please stop saying out loud that you don't need a man? Then you didn't live enough and you don't know enough to understand that you actually need a man. And that man needs you.
Yeah. And there are different kinds of needs, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. You might not need a man for your financial independence at the moment. Yes, good for you.
Yes.
But doesn't mean you don't need love. Doesn't mean you don't need a family.
Exactly. Exactly. Even if you don't want to have a children, but you know how nice it is to just have a life partner. Somebody that you can share. And I love my mom. My mom is also a life partner. I share everything with her.
Yeah.
But I can't share it in the way that I share everything with Khalid. It's different when you have somebody pulling with you the same visions. And it's nice to have that it's masculine. You know, you are imbalanced as a woman if you don't have a partner. You are. I can tell from conversations if you are in a relationship or you aren't.
Yeah.
It's usually because the woman quickly picks up on masculine energy. The more you see a woman thriving, let's say in the public eye, the more you can already tell, yeah, probably she's without a man, right? Because you are in survival mode and you want to push, which is nice. That's amazing because this gives you an engine to achieve what you want to achieve, right? But in the same time, a little bit of both.
It's good.
It's good. Balance,
It's the right balance.
baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another way I see balance in you as well is I remember last year from 1 Billion Summit where you were emceeing the main stage.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you there and Summer Rose was just born at that time, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was literally 2 months old.
She was 2 months old. And I remember you were breastfeeding in the green screen and I was like, wow, good for her. And I remember thinking, this is pure reality of integrating work and life as a woman. And I think you did that beautifully. But how did you find it navigating this new life as, an entrepreneur, a content creator, and a mom?
It was hard to admit certain things to my life. I understood that before I wasn't very conscious about my resources and about what do I want to achieve? I was kind of everywhere. I wasn't very sharp in my focus. A child doesn't change you if you found your purpose before. I found my purpose before. So that wasn't it. But it kind of gives you a bigger focus of what do you actually want to do? And it gives you the reality check. You don't have time, right? You don't have time. So how can you achieve things faster? And I admit, if I would have had the mama mindset that I have right now, maybe 3 years ago, I would have probably already have a whole building here in Dubai standing with my name.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the mindset of what Summer Rose brought to me. It sharpens you. And also, it kind of so in the beginning, it slowed me down, obviously, because I wanted to give myself time. I didn't leave the home for 40 days. I did all the mom stuff, to make sure that she's protected and that I give myself time because of breastfeeding and everything. And to be honest, you see that on my social media as well, by the way. I was all over the place. Sometimes I posted, sometimes I wasn't. 2 weeks, you didn't even hear me in stories. Then I made a fashion picture and then I made a cooking video. I was all over the place. I just wanted to do anything, right? So I was really finding path, readjusting, going back, redirection. But what I understood is like, oh, I needed all of this to sharpen focus and to be a bit honest about myself. When am I ready? How is my life going to look like? After 6 months was the first time that I really started working because I felt Summer Rose can now be with my mom alone. You know? I have huge respect for the women that have to go to work after 2 months because in Dubai, there's still the law that in the private sector or in the public sector, you have only 1 or 2 months of maternity leave. And I need to change that. I want to change that because I am privileged for not having to
go back.
And it broke my heart. Oh my God. Yani, you are like, you're so emotional, okay?
I know.
When you're breastfeeding, you are even more emotional. And I was crying my eyes out for my friends that needed to go back to work, had to stop breastfeeding because they need the money.
Of course.
And we are in Dubai, you know, this is something we can change. But who is sitting in law and making, I don't know. But I don't think that it's a woman that did that.
That is making
so
that.
I feel that it has to be a woman that goes and
Let's do
changes
it, by the
that.
way. We can try and think how to do it.
I already wrote a letter, like very like small steps.
Good.
But please help me. I would love to change
do
that.
it.
If we can do that together to at least get 6 months. I'm telling you, from me and all my friends, 6 months was the person like time we felt like, okay, now we can push again, right? If we can just reach 6 month maternity leave, even if it's like 60% payment, at least give an option to the girls, to the women, you know, that want to breastfeed or want to stay with their child. 6 months, if we can make that.
Let's do it.
Then we change something.
Okay, on camera.
Yeah,
Let's
on
do
camera.
it. Yeah,
I'm here.
Let's
I'm here.
do it.
Let's do
I'm
that.
happy to support. I know Reshma Sojani in America, where she's actually working on changing the policies in America about women, maternity, breastfeeding, all of that. We'll make it happen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Please.
We'll make it happen.
Okay,
Done.
right after that, we schedule something, you know?
I love it. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I guess
welcome.
we're getting to the end of it. One question I have is, what is one characteristic of yours that you would love to see in Summer Rose?
Persistence. Yeah. I feel people are too easy with a no. I'm not. I ask you so many times until you give me a yes. I'm persistent in what I want. It took me literally 4 years to get a mortgage for my house here in Dubai with being self-employed. Because if you're employed, it's easy.
I know.
But like, it's like, and I was like relentless. The amount of paperwork, maybe like 500, 600 papers I needed to every month. I tried. I went to so many brokerages and mortgage, be persistent. Because this is, by the end of the day, it's going to be one of your biggest achievements connected to it. Whatever I call today my biggest achievements is because I was so persistent. Because the things that I given to you like this, very like easy, you don't usually see them as big achievements. You don't value it enough. So persistence is what I want Summer Rose to be in Dubai, which is hard because everything is easy.
It's too easy. It's too easy. And what's one thing from you that you don't want her to take?
Good one. Maybe a bit of the problem with receiving. Like, I don't want you to be 30 and realize that you need to ask for help. I want her to ask for help earlier and understand that you need people. And even if it's hard to make friends, especially in Dubai, because everyone is kind of looking for their opportunities, you know, ask for help.
That's a good one.
That's what I would like her to
now that
take
you've
from me.
touched on friends, you know, in Dubai especially, have you lost friends as you climbed the ladder up?
Oh, I lost them in Germany when I climbed the ladder up. But here I never made them.
Really? Do you find it hard to
hard.
navigate it here?
Yes, I feel
it is so hard, Nora. You know, I keep making the mistake of believing what people tell me, trusting and becoming friends, and then finding out.
Because we're Gemini, maybe?
Yeah, it's the Gemini.
Yeah. I figured that like it's hard to find authentic people, you know, that really are who they say they are. And people that are honest to you. I'm sorry, but for me, a friend is not that praises how amazing I am. I hate that.
Same.
But if and this is my problem, because I am honest to the people that I know, and then the contact breaks down, it dilutes. And I'm like, oh, why? I thought like they valued it so much on site. And like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I never thought about it, whatever. And then you hear less from them because like people don't want the truth or reality. People want sugarcoating.
Yeah.
Especially in Dubai. You want yes people, not look another time.
Right.
And that's kind of like, maybe it's my mistake. I have maybe a wrong approach of friendships because I'm looking kind of for this like sparring partners, I like, sometimes I see these videos on TikTok and maybe they are a lie as well, I don't know, where they're like 5 businesswomen and they're like, this is my struggle right now in business. What do you guys think? And then they're like, oh, I think you should do this. And I feel like, wow, what a great friendship they have. Like they're traveling to put their minds together to like help each other, and then I look about the conversations that I have, like what is your next buy on Unas or which dress you want, and I'm like, no, that's not fulfilling. Yeah, I mean that's a secret I want to reveal. But like, I don't know. But how do you feel it? How is it for you?
See, I'll tell you. I had my friends who were here who don't live in Dubai, and we went for dinner, and we all content creators in very different aspects. And at dinner, one of them just asked a question, being like, why don't we just do a very honest audit of what we think of each other's content right now?
Wow.
I
would love to be there.
Time. People were telling me what they think I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong and what I could do more of. And I loved it. I was taking notes. I was like, yes, now it's planned my strategy for the next month. And this is what we need, right?
Girl, I can be that for you. That's my preference. I love that.
Let's do it.
I do feel, Lenny, this is, how many apps evolve now in Dubai and like businesses around like finding your friends. This says it all. I do feel that this is the right approach that you took with your friends. And it takes honesty for that. It takes honesty. And
But also
just one thing that just came to my mind, something like that I genuinely feel is a lack. And I wonder what you think about this. Sometimes I ask myself, why don't I co-create more on my channel with other people?
Why?
Do you? I don't. Should I be honest about myself?
Please.
Sometimes I'm scared they think I want to take away something from them, audience. Like I want to benefit from them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think people don't ask me because they think, oh, maybe she thinks I would use her. Like it's the fear of using and being used.
Yes.
What would it be for you? Because
I feel the same.
I feel it's so boring. I want to co-create.
I agree. And look how fun this is, right?
Yes.
And so for me, my whole content is podcast. So I always need to reach out to people.
Yes.
And I had to get over that fear of, oh, this person will think I'm too small. And I've had such bad experiences. One very big creator in Dubai told me it would be charity work for me to come on your show. Yeah.
Can we just elaborate on that? I'm sorry if we don't have time anymore.
No.
But you know what's weird? Even if you have just 40,000 followers, this is not his community or her community.
No.
If they co-create with you, just getting these 40K people to be aware is a new addition
It's brand awareness.
to your brand. Do people understand? I'm sorry, but they all have zero idea about marketing. Because I literally, like now, I want to hire an assistant and I want to brief her on, I want you to look at anyone else without the numbers and look at what audiences do they have, what do they tackle, and see if we can find symbiosis on the, because I want to have new people, new inspirations, I want to find new ways of connecting, and maybe this leads to like something beautiful that we don't know, where we can help more women, in what they're doing.
Exactly. So we've also started, I was like, you know what? I love female founders and I don't want to keep doing podcast setup. So we go to them now and we show their office, what they're doing, and we are talking to them. It's also
MTV group.
Yeah.
I love
so you know what it is? It's like, it's the Gemini in us because we connect, right, with people. So we find there's so much synergy in being able to work together.
Yes.
And I absolutely love what you're saying. And I think we need to do more. And 1 billion, when I was there, so many small creators came up to me being like, can you film something for my video? I was like, yes,
right? I love that
because
too.
I want you to believe that creators help each other as well, right? We need to create this whole environment where we're all comfortable sharing with each other. And as you said, I've stopped being like, I'm not trying to use you. I genuinely love what you do. I want to speak to you. And I know you have wisdom to offer to my audience.
Yes.
If you're willing, great. If you're not willing, that's also fine with me.
Exactly.
And I want to give. I want to help as many. So because we met so many, on the keynote, I told the story of how I got Wizard Liz on the show, and I'm the only podcast in the world who's had her.
Oh,
right?
yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, and she was amazing.
She's fun.
And I stalked her. I saw her in a parking, and I messaged her. Anyway, and I said in my speech, being like, if you don't ask, you don't get. And one woman just raised her hand, and she was like, well, I'm asking right now, do you want to come on my show? And I was like, okay.
There's a spot.
I raised it. I was like, sure, done. So now I've made it a thing that once a month I will go on someone else's podcast. Whoever comes to ask us, make a list.
Oh, Sheen, you're saying something so important. You know what my life coach told me?
Tell me.
This is my mission now. He said, Nora, one of your biggest mistakes is you always need to create from scratch yourself. You don't insert yourself
in others.
And this is why I reached out to you. While I talked to him, he was like, who would be the first person to come up into your mind where you would want to go to and insert yourself into something they already created? And I said, Sheen. And then he was like, you text her now. I texted you, you directly answered.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's exactly, because for so long, obviously I had a blockage because of being a mom and stuff, because I didn't do anything like this since like 2 years or something.
I know.
But I was like, yes, this is the mindset we should have. Every month is a to-do that you need to go on somebody else's.
Exactly.
You're going to be, inshallah, in the future on mine if I'm going to do this.
I'm coming.
But this is what we need to do.
Yes.
Insert ourselves in something that's already existent, to put ourselves out there, to not just try to get yourself like a magnet, a community. Insert yourself in the others. Also through cross-posting, if it's not a podcast episode. Maybe there is a joint idea, we have like this fun idea of Nora and Khalid.
Yeah.
Where I literally texted, Saint Laurent.
Yeah.
The singer.
Marwan.
Yeah. Marwan. I literally obviously he didn't answer anything, but I literally just texted him last night. I was like, I want to do this video with you.
Done.
If you're in,
I'll be your camera girl on the day.
Yeah. I love this.
I'll be there.
I love this. Honestly,
Yeah. But that's the thing. Shoot your shot. Why not?
Exactly.
And I think you're so right. And you said this earlier as well, that you can't go far alone.
Yes.
Right? So if you want to go really, really far, take people with you and just collaboration. And it's so fun. It's beautiful. It's experimental. It's so good. So I love this. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Final question. What is your big dream, Nora?
My big dream is to have let's say a building here in Dubai, a place where women can educate themselves about entrepreneurship. I want them, if they want to build a business, to have a workshop. They can go a local place, nothing online, no coaching, nothing, where they can get information. This is your step. This is the business plan. This is how you do it. This is my dream. I am starting already with something called CEO Days. I'm pressuring myself because I never talked about this online now. But I'm going from school to school within this year, 100 schools, where I'm going to teach the girls that, how we had girls' days back in the days when universities would come and different jobs, like teach you about how a job of a lawyer is or military or whatever. But nobody ever told me, you can also be self-employed. You can also have your own business. I wish that somebody would came to me back then and told me, choose your university, like your studies wisely, as what can it support for the business you want to do? And that's what I want to do. I want to go from school to school and just talk to the girls that, hey, you can also be self-employed. Moms, don't worry. I'm not telling them not to study. No. I'm telling them, choose the study that will support your dream. And hey, entrepreneurship is also an option.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be the office job or corporate or marketing. There are so many more things, but nobody is vocal about this. And I want to start with the CEO Days in hopes that in maybe 5 to 10 years from now, their government will be open enough for a collaboration where we can build this together, because I want to do this in law enforcement. It needs to be conform with everything that Dubai stands for. And since Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said, the future belongs to those that can imagine it and execute it, I want to be one of the executors.
That's a beautiful dream. And if I can support, let me know. I teach at university here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll bring you in. Tell them. Yes. Oh, that's so, because even me, I grew up in Mauritius on a little island. So I had no idea that this is a job.
Yeah, wow.
You don't know anything. You only know the traditional careers. And I feel like so many people around the world, so many girls around the world are still limited in that front. So you're doing a beautiful job.
I feel, honestly, I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you all this path because it's what you were supposed to do.
Yes.
You are using your potential in the best way possible. I'm trying the equal thing. And if we can help women to do that as well and can empower them in that, even though we don't like the word, I think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be like happy. He will tell the angels, accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Inshallah.
Even though we will never finish while we are alive. You know?
We won't
I don't
see
expect to die. Oh, it's done. No. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting to die knowing that my vision is still carrying on and that it's not finished.
We're pushing the mission.
We're pushing the mission, and that's all we have to do.
Absolutely. Well, Nora, this has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And there's so much more to talk about. I'm sure we'll do a part 2 at some point. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.